Everybody thinks that the Maldives is an expensive destination. We all associate the Maldives with overwater villas, five-star resorts, honeymoons, and luxury experiences. And while you can have all of that, that's not the only reality of the Maldives. Exploring the Maldives can be very affordable, and in this video, we will show you how. Hello friends, welcome back to Greta's Travels and welcome to our Maldives on a budget video. In this video, we'll share with you exactly how much we spent in 10 days in the Maldives on a local island. So if you want to visit the Maldives and do it on a budget, this is the video for you. To understand budget travel in the Maldives, we first have to understand the concept of local islands versus resort islands. Up until 2009, tourists could only travel to private resorts islands. But in 2009, the government began to allow tourists to visit also local islands, which led to the growth of many guest houses and local businesses, which are considerably cheaper than the fancy resorts. One thing to note is that these islands are where local Maldivians live. And since the Maldives is a Muslim country, it means there are rules to follow that you wouldn't notice in resorts, like only being in a bikini in designated bikini beaches or no alcohol. Staying in a local island is a fantastic opportunity to visit the Maldives without breaking the bank, while also experiencing the local culture. So one money saving tip when you're traveling to the Maldives on a budget is to bring a lot of US dollars in cash, because most places here will quote you in dollars. So for things like tours, transfers, ferries, they will actually charge you in dollars. And if you don't have dollars and you ask to pay in Maldivian rupiahs, which is what we've been doing, the conversion they offer you isn't that convenient. And well, for here in Toulouse, for example, a lot of places accept card, but they will always charge like anywhere between 3 and 6% extra as bank charge. So it's definitely cheaper and more convenient to pay in cash, but you should definitely bring some dollars, because for some reason it's cheaper to pay in dollars than in Maldivian money. And although do definitely bring some Maldivian money as well, because you might need it, but make sure to take out money in Male. At the airport in Male, the ATM was free of charge, whilst the ATMs in Toulouse do charge 100 rupiah, which is like €6, which isn't loads, but you know, these things all kind of add up. So if you're traveling to the Maldives on a budget and you don't want to spend loads, it's just something to bear in mind. Bring a lot of cash and make it US dollars. And if you take out money in Male, where the ATMs don't charge you. One of the best things about the Maldives is its incredible marine life. To properly enjoy it, you will have to join guided tours, which can be very expensive in resorts islands since the resort keeps a big chunk of what you pay, but in local islands, all the money goes directly to the locals running the tour, so they're much cheaper. For example, here are some of the tours we chose to do in Toulouse with their exact prices. We did a half-day shark and stingray tour where they took us to 2 spots close to Toulouse, one for snorkeling with black-tip reef sharks and one just outside a fishery where we saw loads of stingrays. And this cost us $35 per person. We also did another half-day tour for $35 per person to a Sandbank and turtle snorkeling spot. If you don't want to do both, there was also the option of doing turtle snorkeling only or Sandbank only for $25 per person. But given the small price difference, I think it's definitely worth doing the joint tour as they're very cool in different ways. The most expensive tour we did was the Nurse Shark and Coral Garden tour, since it was further away from Toulouse-Deux and cost us $70 per person. But it was well worth it for us, as the nurse sharks were incredible to see up close, and the coral garden they took us to was so healthy and beautiful. There are also loads of other tours that we chose not to do, but which others might find fun, like a dolphin spotting cruise, a sunset party cruise, where they also serve alcohol, or a full-day resort island day trip, where you can experience the resort life, but without paying the expensive overnight fee. After our local island experience, we also visited the resort island, and we found that they offered very similar tours, but for at least twice as much, if not more. Getting around the Maldives can also be very affordable. From Malé, you can get to most islands either by speedboat or with the public ferry. The price obviously depends on the island and how far it is. For us, it cost us $25 per person for the speedboat to Toulouse-Deux, and when we then took the public ferry on the way back, it cost $2 per person. The public ferry is obviously slower, but much cheaper. Even the speedboats are well priced compared to some of the transfers that resort islands will charge you. So how much does it cost to eat in the Maldives in a local island? We've spent just under 400 euros, around 380 euros in 10 days, 2 people, and that's eating out breakfast, lunch and dinner. So that is like less than 13 euros per meal for 2 people, which I think is pretty great. And the kind of cuisine you get here, at least in Toulouse-Deux, is kind of a mix of Indian, Sri Lankan, a lot of Western food as well, and a few obviously Maldivian local dishes. And most restaurants all seem to have that kind of variety. And yeah, it's quite affordable to eat out here on a local island. Accommodation in a local island. We are staying at this guest house called Tropical Stay, and we're paying 315 euros for 9 nights, which is 35 euros per night, which is very affordable. This is on the cheaper end. As you can see, it's kind of basic, but it's very spacious, very clean, and you can get fancier places on the beachfront or with balconies with a sea view, and those go up to like 80-90 per night we've seen. So it's definitely possible to sleep in the Maldives on a budget. So another little money saving tip, although I don't know if you have this in all of the local islands in the Maldives. Here in Toulouse-Du there is a Coca-Cola factory, and so they have installed these water fountains around the island, and it's desalinated drinking water and it's free, and you just come and refill your water bottle, and you know, it saves a bit of money and reduces your plastic consumption. I don't know if it's across all local islands, but in Toulouse-Du you can do this. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Maldives video. As you can see, it is definitely possible to visit the Maldives on a budget. The two of us in 10 days spent around 1,000 euros, which I think is very affordable for a destination like the Maldives. And I definitely think it's worth it because you can do a lot of the same experiences you'd have in a resort and see all the beautiful underwater life here in the Maldives. And before you say it, everybody says the flight's the expensive bit, but we spent about 700 euros return from Europe to the Maldives via Dubai. So each, that's 1,200 euros. So I think that's affordable. Let me know what you think. Say it in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe and come back next week for a new video. Thank you. Bye.